Hey everyone, welcome to this segment of Stand and Empower. My special guest today is Meghan Johnson with MGA Collision. Welcome.
Thank you
for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we really do hope that you enjoy today's segment because she has amazing knowledge and I'm so grateful to have her today to share this with you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Okay.
So, my first question is, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you're passionate about?
So my name is Meghan, as you said, and I am a serial entrepreneur. I've actually never had a traditional job. I went to school for fashion design and sewing, basically, and then after college, I started making veils, wedding products, and would just drive to brides' houses, and then I opened my own store, and I did that for 10 plus wonderful years. And then I got out of retail. My son was very young at that time, so I wanted to be more present in his life. And so then I started working with my mom, and we started a YouTube channel with her, and I grew that. And then now I'm in automotive. I've been in automotive now for a couple of years. My husband has been in automotive for forever, and this has always been a dream of his, and so we're doing it together. So it's kind of like the kind of middle to end, and well, I'm very passionate about customer service. It's always been my forte. It's always been where I shine. I love working with the customers. I love taking care of them. I especially feel like now post-COVID, you know, our customers here at the Collision Center are just, they're like, wow, you have amazing customer service, and wow, this is amazing, and wow, you'll do this and you'll do that. And really, what's so funny is I think about it, it's just really like going back to basics. You know, I'm not doing anything that all companies basically did prior to COVID. I just answer their questions. I listen to them. I take off their plate whatever I can take off in terms of insurance, getting their vehicle here, transportation, those kinds of things. And, you know, I do it every day. So it's just kind of those simple things that make all the difference to people.
Yeah, it takes a load off, at least from what I can see from that aspect of it, from the customer's end. It's just nice to have to deal with someone like that. And the part of with customer service is very important because you would think, right, that everywhere you would find like really good customer service, but nowadays that is hard to find.
I know. And that just helps us stand apart, really. And it's like from my bridal days where that was like the ultimate customer service. You know, when somebody's a bride, it's such a special time in their life, to then moving over to like the more digital realm with the YouTube channel with my mom and growing that YouTube channel, which was amazing. And then the customer service came in with her fans, and her fans would call our company, and you know, we would help them position them with gold and silver. My mom's an economist. That's what the channel was about. And then now with Collision, it's like I've been just moving up, and it's all customer service. And it goes from like brides being happy to fans wanting to know more, to now customers who've been in something scary, an accident, small or large, is very jarring. So we're very sensitive to that. We're sensitive to their experience, and it just helps us it helps us help them.
No, that's good. That's really good to know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing that.
Of course.
Well, when did you decide to go into this field? Like, was it just all of a sudden that, you know, your spouse was like, hey, let's do this, let's go for it? Like, what was it for you?
Well, for him, it was a very long time because he has been in automotive since he was 16 years old. And he's always wanted to have his own collision center. And I lived my dream with my bridal shop for over a decade, and then helping my mom with her dream with, you know, being out there and educating people on economics and the power of physical, tangible money and things like that. And now, you know, when Robert came to me, he just found out that this building was for sale, and he's like, I think we should buy it, and I think we should do this. And I said, yeah, let's do it.
What a jump. Right?
So we did. We did. And I'm very lucky that I have the flexibility in my life to just keep going on to more and more businesses. And I have more and more businesses in my mind that I want to do. It's like that kind of blessing and a curse, you know, of an entrepreneur. So much to do and so little time.
Yeah, and I love to see that excitement, especially as you're sharing it. And I really do hope that the viewers can see that as contagious, and that they decide to see themselves like, oh yeah, I'm excited for this. I want to do something like that.
It's scary and it's fun.
Yeah. And that's the reality of it. Right?
Yeah.
Well, what are some of the challenges that you faced, and how have you overcome them?
So challenges, I would say, at least in automotive, have mostly been with just changing the culture of automotive for customers and for staff. So with automotive, it's just so almost antiquated, and things have always been done by a rule of thumb. And so it was really finding and positioning the correct team so that they don't just look at every single accident the same. We look at every single file differently. And some of our employees were able to jump on board with recognizing what the customer needs rather than what just a traditional repair is. And some of them haven't, so we've had to part ways. So it's really been like setting up the team to enhance this culture, and that's what for the customer. But then also on our employee side, it's really getting everyone to work as a team, because in automotive, it's so colleagues are so competitive with one another, because what they repair directly affects their income. So they fight over the heavy hitters, like the bigger jobs. And then they complain when they get stuck with the small jobs. Well, here, at least at MGA Collision, and our culture for our customer is, it's not just about the one job. It's about the customer experience, and it's about the long-term relationship. Because especially here in Arizona, we've had customers come in multiple times, whether they're at fault or they're not at fault, regardless. So our shop culture is a team-based culture. Everybody's paid on salary, so they're not fighting for some of these jobs. We've created teams, which is also unheard of in the industry, so that they actually work together, so that the skilled technicians are not wasting their time doing something that like a C-level tech, because there's levels, a lower level tech can handle. And so it makes us more efficient. It makes us work together. And then if we see, something else, a little damage that we can take care of it, and maybe not related to the accident, but we're already in there. It's not going to affect them. It's not going to affect anybody except produce a happier customer. So we were able to make those calls that other auto body shops wouldn't. So it enhances everybody's experience. So the challenges were aligning all of that, and really with the staff kind of making them break bad habits from previous shop experiences.
And that's really good. It's so important. A few things that you mentioned, while everything was amazing, one of the things that you said in regards to culture is building that culture. So if you're trying to build a team, if you have a team that you're struggling with and you're challenging, you have to figure out, okay, what is it that you're trying to envision? Number one, you want to spread that vision to your team, right? You want to establish that and grow and build from that. Is that correct?
And if you have somebody on your team that can't embrace that vision, whether you discover that over time or it's kind of apparent immediately, you do have to make the hard decision on whether that person is right for your team.
And that's usually difficult, huh?
And you have to part ways. It's just, you have to put your business first, and you have to put your customers first.
That's true.
So you have to make some pretty hard calls, but in the end, it's always worth it. That's the thing. Might be hard at the time, but then you bring in someone who aligns with your vision, and it's like magic.
Wow. No, that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, what would you say, who's been your biggest supporter?
Well, I mean, I've been really lucky in my life where I have my parents who are really big supporters, and then obviously doing this with my husband has been so amazing, and I would say we're our biggest supporters. I always tell him my favorite time of the day is when I pull on the lot. He's always here before me, and I see him, and it always makes me smile.
Aww.
So it's just having that support system, because with business there's ups and downs. So we support each other in the lows, and we support each other in the highs. So I would say Robert and I are each other's biggest supporters right now.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And to see that as your spouse, especially because you're working with your spouse.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case for a lot of people that do have that relationship, right?
Yeah.
It's you see each other at home, you see each other at work.
Yeah. It's so funny because we do very different things. So I'm definitely more on the customer service side, and he's in the shop with the techs, working on the cars. He loves being around cars. And so sometimes I don't see him all day. And then we'll get home and I'm like, hang out with me. I miss you. I haven't seen you all day, because he's, I always have to track him down if I have a question, because there's still a lot that I don't know. But it's been really rewarding working with him.
It's good teamwork, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would you say to someone who's wanting to either change careers, start a new business? Maybe they've been working for a company and now they're wanting to take that leap of, okay, I want to go do this, and it's totally the opposite of what I've done. What would you tell them?
Do it. Just do it. That's the thing. Like, people are always like, oh, when is the right time to start? There is no right time. You just have to do it. Yeah. Honestly, there's things you can do to kind of prepare yourself, but don't let it stop your execution. So you can prepare yourself with funding, which obviously is the hardest hurdle for new businesses while they're gaining their reputation and their clientele. But I mean, go to a bank, get an SBA loan, and just do it. Even if it's just a little bit of money to start to get you going, as long as you put yourself out there every day and you take the risk, then you'll reap the reward.
Yeah. And that's important, because people sometimes have this fear they think that they have to have the cash up front in order to start something, but that's not necessarily the case.
When I started my bridal business, I made a few veils, wedding veils, and put them in my trunk. I got a teeny tiny booth at a trade show. I got like 20 clients from that trade show, and I would literally drive to their homes, try on these like little samples I made, design their veil, and that's how I got started with that. I didn't have my own store for the first year. So I was just selling accessories, and I started just going to people's homes, and then I actually teamed up with an existing store, and I rented a little bit of her space, sold my veils, and so that was definitely gradual. With the collision, it was kind of, you had to do everything up front, because you need techs, you need a location, you need all the equipment, tools, paint booths, things like that. So it was a little harder to start small with something like this, but there are so many businesses out there that you can start small, even a YouTube channel. Just do it. Start making content.
That's true.
The only buddy stopping you is you.
Yeah, that's good. So write that down.
Yeah.
Well, how do you stand and empower in your community?
I think with me, it's more like things like this. I have a lot of friends that ask me all the time, like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I tell them the same thing that I just said, like, you just have to do it. And then educating the customers. I'm really, really working hard to change the whole persona of auto body and automotive in general, because it's got such a shady reputation, because people don't understand it, and they're so used to other shops not being transparent and not doing what they say they're going to do and things like that. So sometimes I really work against that kind of image in people's heads, and then I show them. And I just had a customer call me, and we just finished her repair, but before she dropped off her car for repair, she actually called me, and she said that the level of customer service we had already given her before she even put a deposit, before she did anything, was so amazing. She thought we were fraud.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So she super sleuthed us on the internet, which is pretty easy to do. We're out there. And then she called just to confirm, because she thought it was fake.
Oh, wow.
Because people are so used to getting no service.
Yeah. Which is sad, right? For what's out there.
Yeah. Which comes back to what I first said. It's like the easiest thing. Respond. Yeah. Talk to them. It's the easiest thing I can do.
Yeah.
So basic.
That's really good. And I do thank you, and I appreciate that, because since I met Meghan, one of the things that I noticed about her is that she's willing to share. She's not gatekeeping any information like, this is just mine, right? No, she's willing to give and share her knowledge. So I'm so grateful to have you on today's segment.
I'm a serial oversharer.
Yeah, no, but I love it. No, thank you. I'm like, oh. Well, if you guys have any questions for Meghan, I'm going to include her information in the link, and so you can reach out to her and know more about MGA Collision.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.